I usually train covered up. I'll wear a sweatshirt in the gym and shorts and train as I'm comfortable, but it's not important for my ego to be oogled and admired constantly every day and to have my physique perused each time I come into the gym. I'm there to do something for myself and to use the time as economically as possible.
Bob attributes his great bodybuilding career to three things: hard effort, intellect, and excellent genes. However, Bob's existence consists of more than just a set of advantageous genes. Additionally, he is an artist, a public speaker, a writer, an actor, and a civil rights activist. It all started when his family disowned him and left him to fight for himself. He was also shunned by society, which had earlier backed him and commended him for being the finest competitor in his industry. He eventually found himself on his own. Bob is well known for possessing one of the greatest physiques in the bodybuilding world, having battled through some of life's most difficult challenges and getting to the top of the sport. Biography: public speaker and social activist. He was given the name Bob Paris on December 14th of that year in Columbus, Indiana. A lot of people know him because he's an actor and writer and bodybuilder. Bob was an avid outdoorsman when he was younger, and he particularly liked trekking and camping through the forests of southern Indiana. In addition, he liked riding and paddling around the surrounding waterways. Bob received prizes for his paintings and drawings for the International Scholastic Awards organization while still in school. In his leisure time, he also dabbled in fiction writing. On the main stage. Early on, Bob had an increasing interest in acting and the theater. We could see right away that Bob had a wide range of creative abilities since he belonged to the International Thespian Society. Bob participated in a wide range of activities throughout his high school years, including soccer, athletics, and golf, but it wasn't until later that he discovered something that piqued his curiosity in bodybuilding. His sophomore year, he discovered an unused and dirty weights equipment at the rear of the basketball gym, which he promptly converted. Gaining strength. He began experimenting with weightlifting, and within a short period of time, he had grown a significant amount of strength and size. So much so, it piqued his curiosity more than any of his previous sports. With his commanding physical presence and creative temperament, he opened a path for what became regarded a misunderstood realm of bodybuilding to take root and flourish. When Bob finished from high school, he proceeded to Parris Island, South Carolina, to attend boot camp for the United States Marine Corps. Bob attended Indiana State University for his first 2 years of college before transferring to Indiana University in Bloomington. The desire to explore the globe and pursue his dream of being a professional bodybuilder, actor, and ultimately a writer gradually overtook Bob's urge to see the world. The moment Bob got back from Indiana and his dad booted him out of the house, Bob was inspired to take the huge step and travel to California for one of his buddies, who happened to be in the same situation as him at the time. Sleeping rough. Bob was left alone in Santa Monica, which was known as the world's bodybuilding capital at the time. Bob's money quickly ran out and he was forced to live on the streets and sleep in his vehicle for a period of time. After just 2 years in Los Angeles, Bob's hard work paid off when he received the title of Mr. Los Angeles and Mr. Southern California. After that, in 1983, Bob won a Mr. America NCP Championships as well as the Mr. Universe IFBB Global Championships in the bodybuilding division. The best in history. While gaining increasing notoriety for possessing one of the top bodies in the field, he was also becoming a more vocal public figure, advocating for the introduction of real drug testing into the bodybuilding profession. In Flex magazine, Bob was crowned the IFBB's most aesthetically pleasing athlete of all time in 2006.
When I'm training, I'm picturing that perfect physique and trying to attain that. If that happens to coincide with what the judges want, then that's fantastic.
Making history. Bob's journey wasn't without its bumps and bruises. Bob came out as a homosexual guy in an edition of Iron Man magazine in 1989 when the magazine published an article about him. While still competing professionally, he became the world's first professional sportsman to come out to the public in the media. Bob's career was devastated as a result of this announcement to the world. He remembered that his enterprises were forced to shut and he struggled to live a regular life. Death threats were sent to him through phone and postal mail, and he took them seriously. Bob's then girlfriend encouraged him to become a prominent advocate for homosexual rights and same-sex weddings, and they both did so together. The break. Because of the pressure placed on their relationship by the public, the couple decided to part ways after 7 years of being together. Having given in to the public's assertion that no homosexual marriage could ever succeed, Bob felt that he let the community down. A study conducted at this time found that 70% of individuals in California believed homosexuality to be a sin. I had to shut down around 80% of my company. Doors were literally being shut in my face. There were a handful of instances in which my life was in imminent danger. Some of the death threats came in the form of phone calls and letters. Bob resigned from the sport for the first time in 1985, but he returned after just 2 years and then retired for the last time in 1991. Brian Lefergie was Bob's partner from 1996 until 2003, when British Columbia changed its marriage laws. After that, he was legally married to him. He is now residing on an island off the coast of Vancouver. Idols and influences. Bob was initially inspired by the weights equipment in the rear of his high school gym. Bob understood right away that this was the road he wanted to take after learning the proper type of lifting weights and falling in love with someone who would be with him for the rest of his life. Since then, his passion for arts and athletics has driven him to mold his own physique to the highest level of perfection. As a bodybuilder, Bob spent all of his time and money on the sport. He made a name for himself that will be talked about for years to come. What we can learn from Bob Paris. When we look back on Bob's life, we can see that his two passions, sports and also the arts, motivated him to achieve and build a prosperous life for himself despite the uncertainties of life. Bodybuilders and non-bodybuilders alike may take inspiration from his desire to improve himself and push the boundaries of convention in both their professional and personal lives. It all started with him living in his vehicle while trying to make a name for himself, and it ended with him being ostracized by society for becoming the first professional sportsperson to publicly disclose he was a homosexual, among other things. For those who didn't have the power to speak for themselves, he persevered and continued to promote his passion for bodybuilding as well as equality and justice. And he not only established himself to be one of the greatest bodybuilders of all time, but he also proved himself to be the finest athlete of his generation. Bob comes across as a motivated, hardworking, and self-reflective person, as seen by his actions. It is still true today that he has a strong desire to serve people and that he has one of the greatest physiques in the profession, as seen by his legacy. Your own body of brilliance is possible if you have the correct mentality, motivation, and consistency.